What's up, hustlers? Your boy JC Automations back in another video. Hey, you guys, first and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for watching every video in this 5-part series. If for whatever reason you ended up landing on this video first or in any order other than fifth, I do want you guys to know that the full playlist is linked down in the description below. Be sure to go back and watch every video in this playlist because they all build on top of each other to help you learn exactly how to do real estate deals the right way. Learning from my brother Sawan, who is well on the road to getting over 100 rentals under his belt as part of his portfolio, flipped over 300 deals and counting, and is a wealth of knowledge. And we also have a live training that's linked down in the description below as well. But what we're going to talk about in this video specifically is for those of you out there that have trouble getting funding and you're worried about how to get money. So we're going to talk about private money and pretty much everything you need to know to have a strong foundation so that you understand that this is something that is 100% possible for you, regardless if you have bad credit, no credit, even no money. You can still go and secure private money. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, bro. So I'm going to get straight to it. The first question I want to know, all right, because in previous videos, we talked about what private money was. Now, when it comes to trying to get private money, like if I wanted to get money from you to do my real estate deal, do I find the private money person first and try to build a relationship with him or her and then go find deals that match what they tell me? Or do I go find a deal first and then try to find a private money person to fund the deal?
Well, so I think there's no right or wrong, but from my experience, what I've done is I've actually found the deals first. Okay, so this is kind of like the stages. This is kind of like the stages. So first, you don't have any money, you have bad credit, you really don't have any experience. You start with deal finding. You start real estate investing with just straight hustle time, finding deals and assigning them. Okay. Once you start doing those kind of deals, that's going to give you experience about the market, experience with, realtors, experience with attorneys, experience. You're going to see your buyers go from a bad house to a really good house, and you're going to see their struggles and their pains. Yeah. Okay. So when you learn from someone else as you're doing deals and making money, naturally you're going to know more. Okay, so I didn't start raising money. Until, honestly, really until probably about like my maybe 20th or 30th deal or so, and it came up just because I was one of my best buyers. I mean, he was eating them up. He was eating them. It might have been 40 or 50th deal, honestly. He was eating them up. He was eating them up, and I thought he was the guy. Yeah. Okay. His name was Charlie Klein. I thought he was the guy that had the money. Because that's how people walk around with their confidence. And one day he slipped up. Right, we had a deal. It was supposed to close on a Monday, and the seller has signed their paperwork. Everything's good. I'm expecting my check on a Tuesday. Yeah. And money wasn't in house. The attorney said on Monday. Tuesday, money wasn't in house. Wednesday, money wasn't in house. I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? What's up? He's like, well, man, my partner's out of the country right now. He normally wires the money. I said, your partner wires the money, and that kind of gave me a clue. Thursday, still no money. I said, well, look, at this point, bro, I got other people that want this deal. The seller trying to get this thing closed out. I'm about to lose this deal. I think it was like a $20,000 assignment too. It was a good assignment. It was really good. And so I was like, I need to talk to your partner, if you guys want to keep this deal. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to take your non-refundable due diligence money, your $2,000. I'm gonna take that from you because you're outside of the contract terms now, and I'm gonna have to go with somebody else. He said, no. I'm gonna give you my guy's number. Yeah. Okay. And so he gave me Kendall's number. I called Kendall. Kendall, cool. Yo, I'm in Belize, bro. I'm a white guy. I'm in Belize, man. He said, no. I got the money. I got $20 million in the bank right now. I'll send you the statement. But I'm not in Texas, and I didn't realize I had to with Frost Bank, the bank that he sends his wires from. He didn't know that he had to go through a screening process at the bank in order to do phone wires from outside of the country. You know, he can do phone wires inside of the country, but outside the country, he had to do this screening process to make sure you're not money laundering.
Yeah.
And so when I was talking to this guy, I was like, yo, this is the money guy.
Yeah.
You know? And so, cool, I got the seller cool down. They end up closing the deal, right? Mm-hmm. And then I started paying attention to all of my transactions now. You know, so I found out on the HUD. Okay, like the HUD is like the receipt that you get from the attorney or the title company when they do the deal. Mm-hmm. And it tells you the seller's name, tells you the buyer's name, and then there's also another little box up there that tells you who the grantor is. Turns out the grantor, okay, is the private money guy. Okay. I never looked at my HUDs. Yeah. I never, you know, I just got my check, you know, it's send me my money, you know. I found out that in this little grantor box is the private money guy. And so at that time, when I found out that the buyer and the money guy were two different people, I started to ask Charlie questions like, hey, what does your partnership look like? How does that work? Like, you know what I mean? Like, you ain't got no money. He bringing all the money? Yeah, I'm actually walking away with a check at closing. You walking away with a check at closing? You know, I thought I was walking away with a check at closing and you were spending money. Yeah. Now I get paid at closing too. I said, whoa. It's something to this now. Because originally, when everybody teaches wholesaling and assignments, you're trying to buy houses with no money and get paid to buy the houses. But he was doing the same thing, but actually keeping them.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he was able to get paid just like I was. But the only difference between me and him was he's going to continue to get paid through rent and depreciation and tax benefits and all those things. So I'm getting one check. He's getting many checks. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? And so once I found out that, boom. So I think it starts with the deal first. Okay. I think you start with wholesaling and assignments. Okay. And then after you've learned, you know, the market, got some relationships, your buyers are doing projects, you go meet their contractor. So now you got some contractor relationships. The buyer uses a realtor to sell their property. You go meet their realtor. Now you got some realtor relationships. Now you got a tribe, because you don't want to start raising money from other people without a tribe. Because at the end of the day, my deals aren't successful because of me. They're successful because of my deal, number one, my realtor, number two, my property manager, my contractor, and my private money guy. Right. So that's really ain't got nothing to do with me.
All right, so those are the key elements of having a tribe right there.
For sure.
So we need a realtor.
Yep.
We need a property manager.
Yep.
We need a private money person.
Yes, sir. Yep. And we also need a great contractor. Oh yeah, because contractors can mess you up, boy. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? They can mess you up. I had this one guy, gave him a $10,000 deposit. Okay, and Mr. Trevor is gone. Oh. Mr. Trevor stopped answering the phone. Oh, bro. Man, that was tough. Yeah, that was tough. $10,000 going out of my budget now. Just gone.
I know you didn't say attorney though on your tribe.
Yeah. Attorney. Attorney is definitely good. You got to have a good attorney, because my attorney set up trust for guys. They help set up promissory notes for me. They help me be creative. And honestly, after I perform over years, one of my best private money guys, Nick, came from my attorney. One of my guys wasn't performing on the deal. He didn't send the wire one time, and my attorney was like, yo, no problem, bro. Let me call one of my friends. I said, okay. And literally he called his friend, typed up a new promissory note with his friend on it. Boom. Closed the deal because of my attorney, not because of me. I mean, it was because of the work ethic that I had put in over the years. But like I said, you have to put in the work first. If you just go to guys and say, hey, I'm a real estate investor and I buy houses with other people's money, but you don't have any proof in the pudding, a lot of people is not going to take you seriously, and it's just going to be harder, because you're probably going to do everything wrong. If you ain't never done a real estate deal before, you know what I mean? Your first time is never the best. It's never as good as your 100th time.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't say do that.
I'm speaking from experience. I lost like $30K on my first.
So always, in my opinion, start with wholesaling first, because the only thing you have to lose is your marketing expense. You don't have You don't have nothing to lose in a house, okay? Because houses are $100,000, $200,000, $500,000, and you can lose it. You don't want to do that. So I say start with the deals first.
All right. So now that I found a good deal, all right, but if I never did a deal like this before with private money, how do I find guys, and not just guys that got money, because plenty of people have money in their 401k plan or wherever they have it, but I want to find men and women that are already interested in doing this sort of deal. So how do I find people that's right now already doing this kind of business, and I could just tell them why they should do it with me?
Okay, so there's two different investors that you're going to come across when you're looking for guys to invest with you and in your deals.
All right.
Okay, guys who don't know nothing. Okay, and then guys who are sophisticated and educated. Okay, this is a grown man business. Okay, I don't know if anybody ever got into the drug business of selling drugs, but that's a grown man business. Okay, the smarter you are in the drug business, the more successful you're gonna be. So you don't want to be a rookie messing with the smartest, biggest dog on the block. You see what I'm saying? You don't start there. You go with the little peddler first. You know what I'm saying? So do not go for the sophisticated person on your first one. Okay, that's not what you want to do, because then they're gonna hit you with points. They're gonna hit you with extension fees. They're gonna hit you with high interest. Because at the end of the day, okay, understand that the bank gets paid whether you win or lose. And in most cases, they get paid more when you lose. Okay, I hope that makes sense. Okay, I hope that makes sense. When you buy a house, is a real tangible thing. It's a house. Okay, they have insurance on the money that they're lending, so whether you pay them back or not, they're gonna get their money back. Okay, but the only difference is when you lose, they get their money back through insurance, and then they also get your house. So they gonna make double the money. So it almost benefits them to take the house back. So you have to, when you're starting to look for guys, I say start with your cell phone first. Go through your cell phone first and let people know what you're trying to do, and let them know the benefits of what you have to offer. Okay, you're gonna put in the sweat, they're gonna put in the equity. Okay. That's where you start. You start with the unsophisticated people first, because it's going to give you a chance to practice. Okay.
So the people on that HUD document you told us, those are sophisticated people.
You got to call them and you got to call them and ask. You got to call them and talk to them. Okay. Now the good thing is you can't be afraid of the sophisticated people, but you just have to understand that they're sophisticated. You know what I'm saying? Like when you're playing poker, you're like, you don't show all of your hand. You play poker. You bluff some, you talk junk, you know what I mean? And so when you're talking to those people on those HUD docs, you create a relationship and you find out what they really know. Okay, and you try to learn from them. Okay, hey, what did your last deal look like? Do you prefer short-term gains or long-term gains? Why do you prefer lending versus just investing yourself? Those are the questions that you're asking sophisticated people. If I pay it off early, are you okay with getting paid less interest? Because technically you're paying interest over time. But most people aren't thinking like that. But if you're talking to somebody that's not sophisticated, where they have money locked up in a 401k, and they put in $100,000 over the last 20 years, and they only have their 401k now at $170,000, that person you can persuade a little bit, because you say, hey man, look, you've been getting an annual return year over year of 2.5% to 3%. Inflation last year was 7%. Now I sound smarter than them. You see what I'm saying? It's a poker game. So you can't be. What I'm saying is it's okay to play with the big boys, but you gotta practice. You gotta shoot free throws first. You can't just go straight to the league. You gotta play at the Boys and Girls Club first. Then you try out for middle school, and then you go to AAU, and then you play high school ball. You know what I'm saying? And then you go to college, and then you go to the league. So you can't just go straight to the league. Otherwise you're gonna get run over, you're gonna end up with broken ankles and all that good stuff. So you gotta, I say start with the people in your phone. Okay. I say start with friends, family, church members, and business professionals around you. Okay. So think about it like this. If you started with wholesaling, which you should, like I said, your attorney sees that you're performing on these deals. He's a good guy to go to and say, hey man, do you know anybody? I'm thinking about, instead of assigning my deals, I'm thinking about, I'm thinking about buying them myself and keeping them myself and doing a different strategy. Do you know anybody that's looking to invest right now? Okay. And as your attorney, you've paid him already. So you've already done the work. He's been getting paid off of your deals. He's naturally going to reciprocate and say, hey, look, I don't know if these guys are ready right now, but here's one guy. Start with that one guy. Go through your contact list. For all you're looking for people is, if they don't have to be rich. Cal Bailey, I went to college with him. We're the same exact age. I think he's a year younger than me, honestly. But he was one of the guys that took a chance on me. He's an engineer. His wife an engineer. They got a little decent money. The first investment that he gave me was like $7,000. Okay. Like I told you in the last video, for a subject to deal, that's all I need, $7,000.
Yeah.
So if I got my homeboy that got $7,000, right? He looking for tax breaks because him and his wife, they got a little money. Let's work with that. Let me perform for him. I performed for him like 5 times, and then finally he opened up the floodgates and said, yo, bro, here go 30 grand. Let's work.
Yeah.
So you have to, you got to take it. And he's still not a sophisticated investor, but he gave me a shot to do a deal. I was able to document the process and show everybody that I'm doing the deal. And then now the sophisticated investors look at me as though I'm sophisticated now. So and that's how you work your way up through the ranks with the money. Yeah. It's a chess game. It's really, when you're raising money, you're a part of the 1%. So you have to be willing to put in that brain power,
This is a question I have for you. So since we're going to be new to the private money game and we're targeting unsophisticated investors, private money men and women in the beginning, I'm assuming that we're going to have to educate them a little bit, just like how you said. They might have underperforming 401ks. And while that may be true, why do they want our deal? Instead of saying, well, okay, yeah, I'm underperforming, but I can do anything else with it. So my question to you is, why would you say private money people want our deals?
Okay, so the best way to explain it is without using the example that I just used, okay? The selfish reasons, that's what I typically give people, selfish reasons first. I say, hey, look, if I don't perform on this deal, you're gonna make way more money than I promised on this promissory note, okay? Because that's number one, okay? They also want my deal because where else they gonna get 14% without doing nothing? There's not a lot of opportunities. There's not a lot of opportunities that they can get 14%. Okay,
and honestly, that's secure. Backed by a property,
bro. Please burn it down, Mr. Tenant, because the insurance is gonna pay out my investor and me, and we're still gonna have the property. That's safe as a mug. You know what I'm saying? But with a 401k that's locked up in stocks, when the stock market go down, guess what else goes down? Your 401k. Right? And can a 401k go down below zero? Can stocks go down below zero?
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Can real estate go down to zero?
Nah, it's gonna always
No. Even if it burns down, it's always going to be land there. It's always going to be worth something. It can't go below zero, And that's what makes a real estate investment. So it's not even me, It's really more so the tangible asset. Crypto is not tangible. We can't go get it. Stocks is not tangible. We can't go get it. So really real estate is it's just safe. It's just safe, period. And
it's a safer place to get better returns.
Right. Now
passively.
Now one thing I'll tell you, okay, pass all of that.
All right.
I typically supply my guys with like some kind of track record, number one. Number two, I let them know what my wise counsel say. So if my realtor sends me comps and says, hey, your 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that you have on the contract for 50 grand, I see other houses within a 2-mile radius, within 200 square foot of it. In the last 6 months, houses very similar to this fixed up have been selling for 160, 170 grand. That tells me we got a good deal from my counsel. Okay. Now, let's say we got a good contractor. I have the contractor go out there and I say, hey, man, this is what I'm trying to do. You know, he says, well, you know, this is going to cost you about $30,000. It's going to cost you about $35,000. You go out and get another contractor. He says, well, this is going to cost you about $30,000. You got a solid number now. So now you got the number of how much it's going to cost to fix you up. You know how much it's going to be worth. Then you need to have a good, you know, either mortgage broker to refinance out your guy, or maybe you create a long-term note with your guy. You got to know what the rent is. So I go to my property manager and say, hey, look, bro. I'm going to get this loan and my payment is going to be X amount. How much for this property can we rent it out? Oh, well, we can rent it out for $1,200. Oh, great. My loan is going to be $700. At this point, everything is lining up. And I typically I always get that information first. Okay. So when my guys ask me for that information,
The private money guy.
yeah, when my private money guys say, hey, look, Sawan, I'm down, but why is this good? Not from me. This is not from me. This is what everybody else has to say about it.
Yeah.
This is what my realtor said about it. This is what my contractor said about it. This is what my property manager said about it. You know, 5 other people said this is great.
Yeah.
And you mean to tell me that, you know, well, I mean, it's good. It's good, you know. And so it has nothing to do with me. You know, it's really more about the deal. It really is, and all those things we put together. So you got to get you a good tribe. Got to get you a good tribe, because while we're sitting here making videos for hours, contractors calling me. You know what I mean? They doing the work. You know, Miss Elrita calling me. She's setting up the Airbnb. You know, my mom calling me. She doing our taxes. You know, so it has nothing to do with me. It has everything to do about the people around you. That's why I said you gotta do the work first, because that's gonna help you create the people that you need. If you get stuck in doing everything, you're not an investor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's
An investor leverages. In this case, you know, we leverage your money and we leverage your people.
All right, so I got one last question for you. So, being that we're targeting unsophisticated private money people in the beginning, we're showing them the deal that's not just our opinion, but verifiable resources, property managers, realtors, contractors, all of these people that's showing this is a good deal for you to put your money here. All right. What if that person, they recognize the deal, but they're still unsophisticated? You're telling them a worst case scenario, you're going to get this property, and just like we said earlier, the bank actually comes out better if you don't go through with the deal. But this unsophisticated investor says, well, even though you give me the house for $50,000, that I need to put 30 grand in, and I'll have 80 in, I can sell it for 160. I don't have a tribe.
Check this out. I got you. I know where you're going with it. So let's say you got a great deal. It's verified by everybody. Yeah. Your private money guy lends to you. Yeah. What keeps him protected? Okay. After he lends his money, so he sends all of this goes through an attorney, by the way. So he sends his wire to the attorney. So let's call it $80,000. Any money to you? Yeah, let's call it $80,000. Okay, right. And the house is gonna sell for, let's call it $150. Okay, so he sends his $80,000 to the attorney. Okay, what your attorney should do? Okay, it's what I have them do. The $50,000 for the purchase price, of course, go to the seller and all of his expenses. The $30,000 that's left, I have them break it up into drawers for me. Okay. So when a contractor goes out and does work, he says, hey, I did the demolition, I ripped the floors out, I took the sheetrock out, and now I got to pay my guys. He takes that invoice, okay, he gives it to me, and I go give it to my attorney, and my attorney releases some of those funds. Okay. And so he doesn't release the whole $30,000, he releases some of those funds. Yeah. Okay, that's one way to protect yourself. So now I take that money back, pay the contractor, he continues. So that way you're adding value to the house. So let's say for some reason something happens to the contractor on the second draw. They still got one more draw. They're not done yet. They got the walls all nice and pretty. They got the electrical done. They got the plumbing is straight. But they still don't have cabinets, floors, and light fixtures. Right? And there's no paint.
Yeah.
Roof is done. You know what I mean? At this point, your guy says, "Hey, I can't find the contractors keep screwing me. I'm just going to give the house back to you, Mr. Private Money Guy." If that happens at that particular time, and you have a draw system in place, you will still have equity in that property to resell. Okay, literally.
So the remaining balance in that draw goes back to the private money person and the house.
For sure.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. And that's you just have to set that up with your attorney. It's just called a draw system. It ain't nothing new or hard. It's not. It's really not. That's the best way to mitigate that. Now, as you get more experience, it's really no need to do that after you. But in the beginning, if somebody doesn't trust you, that's one thing that you can implement. Okay. So let's talk about some stuff that you can implement real quick.
All right.
So, of course, your guy can get paid interest. You can pay your guy interest on his money. That's one thing. The next thing you can do is you can pay him points up front. So he lends $80,000. He can charge you up to 5 points.
What's the difference between interest and points?
So points is a fee at the front or the back of the loan. So when the loan is originated or when the loan is paid off. Okay, it's technically interest, but in bank's eyes and the IRS eyes, it's just a fee. It's a way that the lender can pay less but get paid more. Okay. Okay. So example, 5% of 80,000. What's that? Let's call it 3,800. So instead of them bringing $80,000 to the closing, they're going to bring 80,000 minus 3,800. But the note is still going to say 80,000. So they just created income, by just paper. You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So just off of 5 points, if I'm going to a person that has a 401k, I just made them more money just on the entrance. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? Just by creating a piece of paper. So, and you can do that on the front or the back. That helps them as far as their protection goes. You can even go a little bit further. And you can give them, instead of giving them a debt, okay, you can give them equity. So let's say they lend you the $80,000, okay, instead of me being the sole owner and then them being the mortgage holder, I can be the owner and they can be the owner, okay? And when you go to the closing attorney to close out the deal, the attorney can write up a clause and say that if I don't hold up my portion of my responsibilities, he'll write out my responsibilities, he'll write out your responsibilities, and whenever someone doesn't meet that, okay, that person can be removed. So if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing, I can be removed from ownership just very easily. And so 50% equity is a lot better than 14% interest. You see what I'm saying? So those are a couple different things that you can do to, like, number one, make your guy more money, but number two, help them feel better in the process. Okay, you can help them feel better about everything that's going on. And honestly, at the end of the day, when you're raising money, it's no pushing anybody. This is high level sales. I mean, let's be serious. Grant Cardone, when he goes up on a stage and speaks, he's just raising money. It's high level sales. You're not pushing people to lend to you. You're showing them a way that they can make money without them being there, without them being present, which not a lot of people know how to do. And then you're showing them why it's safe. And then you're giving them the option to do this or what they're doing. And at the end of the day, if they know that what they're doing right now isn't working out the best way, they will say, hey, just like this lady right here. I've been following up with this lady for 3 years. I ain't hit her up this morning. She texts me. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's how much value you have to bring.
So those are the disposition options, we could call it, for the private money person. They can get equity. They can get points. They can get interest. All protecting their money.
Exactly. And then, of course, they also get lenders insurance. Okay, they also get lenders insurance.
That's what they have to pay for additionally?
No. You pay for that. Me as the borrower, I pay for that.
Okay.
So on a mortgage, just on a traditional mortgage, everybody pays, on an FHA loan, okay, or if you put less than 20% down, everybody pays private mortgage insurance. Mm-hmm. So of course, when they're bringing all of the 100% of the funds for me to buy and rehab the property, I have to pay insurance. I'm paying the fee, not them.
Yeah.
So you see what I'm saying?
If the deal goes bad, that protects their money.
For sure.
So they literally the bank. They get their money back and the property.
Yes. I mean, they get way more protection than I do. They also don't pay any of the property taxes. They don't fuck with any of the maintenance. They don't have to worry about any of the toilets, right? Mm-hmm. They don't have to worry about managing any of the conversations that I have while we're together. Yeah. Any of the frustrations that I deal with managing people. They don't do none of that. Mm-hmm. They simply they simply invest and get a passive return. I mean, I don't even know how to tell you how amazing it is, but I can't wait till, honestly, I do some lending right now myself, okay? Mm-hmm. But I can't wait until I get to the point where I got, 13 million out there lended, because I love my guy. Me and Nick is one of my top guys. I got a few top guys. You don't need a lot of guys for this, by the way. Mm-hmm. One guy got $3 million for you, okay? Yeah. One guy. You don't need a lot of guys for this. Mm-hmm. That's not this. He's a God-fearing dude and everything. We have prayer talks and all this stuff. Yeah. But literally, I mean, I got a couple million of his money right now, and he's cool with it because the money that he gets paid is so good, bro. It's so good.
And his $2 million is protected.
And his $2 million is protected, bro. Yeah, and bro, it's so good. And me and him, we look at these things, and I'm like, man, I'm paying this dude way too good. I really am. He eating. So he landed on that Eastwood house. I don't know if you remember from last year. It was the brick house that we did a flip on. We did a video in the beginning and at the end.
White.
We painted it white. Yeah, real nice. And so he landed 90. Okay, it took us. Our original note was for 6 months. I fell outside of that note for 2 weeks. He upped me. Okay, he upped me. In the promissory note, I don't know why I did not see it, but he put in 4 points for an extension of 6 months. Mm-hmm. Okay, so instead of 10%, really that's 14%. Okay, so on 90 grand, he got paid a $13,000 fee. That's dope. That's dope. You can't tell me that's not amazing. Yeah. And if I wouldn't have closed on that property, if I wouldn't have closed in that amount of time, if he wanted to, if he didn't want to take the additional fee, if he wanted to, he could have just said, hey, Sawan, just deed me the house, bro. And he could have made the 40 grand that I made. Well, it really been 40 grand plus the 13 that he made. So he really would have made 53,000. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? That's amazing. That's amazing. And so you're not asking anyone for money. You're giving them an opportunity to invest with you. Okay. And honestly, right now, when gas prices going up, groceries is going up, inflation is crazy, they got to invest in something that's moving faster than inflation. Otherwise, they're going backwards. Yep. So you're needed right now in the marketplace,
Absolutely.
Yep.
You guys know that I believe in practical entrepreneurship. I bring guys on my channel that really do the business full time, really know what they're doing. So I'm going to end this video with this. You guys already know it's a live training going on. Link is down in the description below. Tap into that live training. We're going to also put another training down there for people that are new and want to learn how to do some deals first. Sawan also teaches that as well. But I'm telling you guys, I am going to publicly sow some seeds in my brother Sawan. So I ain't going to give him 2 million, right? We're not gonna lie about that, right? I'm gonna make a small investment, a little over $50,000, and I'm gonna document the process for you guys because I 100% believe in this. You guys know I'm big on passive income. I'm big on automated streams of income. So why wouldn't I take $50,000 that's protected, put it in an asset that's gonna cash flow to me? Honestly, that sounds like a great deal I'll do for forever. So if you guys want to know more about this, check out the live training, and in upcoming videos, you guys are going to see this process. But until next time, so I'm hustling, stay hustling. JT Automations, I'm gone.